Well, we have it all back together again. Functional console, functional cup holders, functional subwoofer. It's all in here. And yeah, I had a whole lot of hacking to do to get it there, but we did get it there, so there's that. Here's a shot from the other side. Panel's all in place. Everything is hunky-dory. Subwoofer clears, no problem. I've had it cranked up full tilt and we're not hitting anything. So I got it set at 40 hertz up to 300 hertz right now. It does about, I'm probably going to turn it back down to like 40 to about 120 or so. But I'm just playing around with the tuning on that subwoofer. But overall, it's sounding really good. And it may not look like there's much clearance there, but there is. This part here comes down right on the edge of the driver, and it only goes back about a ½ inch, and then there's nothing above the driver, so it's not hitting anything. I left this open originally just to allow some breathing to happen from under here, because you're effectively encasing the whole thing. It probably really doesn't matter, because you know, it's going to get out. The base is going to escape. But I left this opening here for that purpose. This has got a rubber. I used a rubber. What's it called? Like a rubber fuel line, if you will. And I split it, and when I made this hole, I used glue to glue that sucker on. You can even tell it's there, but this whole piece where my finger's going is a rubber line. Same thing with here. This is a rubber line, so it's a nice smooth, no edges. And then of course I've used a piece of a floor mat to create this base, because I had to completely reconstruct this. This was all made totally different, and I reconfigured it to work the way it works. And then cup holders normally can move from front to back. In my case, they're stuck in this rear position, which is where they were all the time anyway, so that works. But yeah, everything is good. There's a lot of work getting it there, though, let me tell you. So with all the work I had to do yesterday and all the cutting, I finally had to break out the Angry Beaver. And this thing has a vibrating blade. Man, I'm going to tell you, if there's one saw that can solve problems, this is that saw. So go online and look this thing up and get you one of these for your problem solving kit. And you will not be disappointed. It comes with 4 or 5 different blades, but there's only really one that matters, and that's this one. It cuts anything hard. Just, yeah, it's super useful. When I cut the door panels to put these pods in, I used this thing as well. The same blade to cut that door panel out. I used it to cut all the plastic and stuff into that console. I mean, it's just a go-to problem solver. So get yourself an Angry Beaver, and make sure you're using it when there's not people around, because it makes a lot of noise. If you put your hand on the alternator, it should feel warm or hot. If it doesn't, it's probably not charging. If you're running multiple alternators, it's kind of hard to always keep track of that. So just take your time, put your hand on the alternator, see if it feels warm. If it does, it's been charging. Another thing to look for is, you see that black in those, between those little fins? That's belt material. You don't want to see a lot of that. If you see a lot of it, it means your belt is slipping, and that's material that's getting thrown off the belt onto the alternator from getting ground away. And it looked pretty clean. But if you look at yours and you see a whole lot of that black stuff on them, you better be changing that belt pretty soon, and also figuring out why your belt is slipping. Over the winter, When I first got diagnosed, I was home all the time. I wasn't really thinking, so I didn't have any kind of battery charger on my bank, on my vehicle, and it sit out here, and the battery's drained all the way down to nastiness. I got a video of that. I don't know, it was really, really low. It did manage to start, but it was a miracle that it did. But now, since then, I've been trying to keep the battery charger on it, but I think I might have a weak battery, so I'm going to go through and check them. And I just took this one out of the circuit so that I can test it independently. And so now I'm going to check and see what the voltage is on this. Now the charger is on and it's been active, so the battery should be, you know, right now it's showing 12.79. And I'm going to go ahead and take the charger off of this so that we're no longer receiving that. And I'm going to end up isolating the other battery too by taking it loose over there, but I'm going to check the actual system. Let's see, this is my positive. And right now we're showing 1291, 1290, so it's dropping because the charger's not on anymore. 1289, and now we're showing 1279, 1278. So I'm going to go and check the other side now. I'm going to pull the cable off of that, so that way I'll have this battery, and that battery all isolated. This way we can figure out who is the weakest link. And it's the same wrench. Wow, what are the odds, right? All I gotta do is take any cable loose. So I'm just gonna take the positive loose here. And we'll do a test over here, see what we're showing right now. I really need to let them rest to find out for sure, but this is a start. Alright, we're showing, that's interesting. Oh, this is not good. Let me show you. I don't know, you guys can't see this thing. See if that's visible. Okay, so put it on here. Look at that, we're already down to 11.79, 11.78. That ain't good. Oh yeah, I know. So from what I'm seeing here, this battery is steadily dropping. It's probably my culprit. That's not a bad reading, but it ain't a good reading either. It should be reading, hell, it should be hot as a firecracker. But it should be reading 12.5, 12.8, something like that. And it's steadily dropping. So I think this is the one that's been taking it down. Good times all around. There we go. They're firing there. Now that I've got the battery back in the system, these two together, that one over there is unhooked completely. I want to see if it'll actually start like this. Charger's safe. Well, there you go. So these two batteries will absolutely have no problem starting the Tahoe by themselves. And that battery doesn't have to be hooked up over there because it's connected to the alternator, which is connected to these batteries, and so it's getting its power that way. So that's good. Now just to figure out how to continue from here. Alright, so what I did was I put the positive back on here because it's a hot lead and I wanted to keep it safe, so I just put it back on and took the negative cable off. So the battery is out of circulation, but the positive cable is in the place where it's not going to cause any issues and, you know, ground out anywhere. So the battery's safe but out of the loop. I'll test it again a couple more times the next couple days or whatever, see if it's steadily dropping, just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure that that's my culprit. Has been for a while. Pulling my voltage down when it sets. So there you go. Yeah, each one of these batteries is 400 cold cranking amps and 820 pulse cranking amps each. So that's between 800 and 1640 cranking amps combined together. Have no trouble starting this Tahoe. Probably one of them by itself would start the Tahoe, but for now that's going to have to do until I can replace that battery. I want to put an AGM on there. I actually got a place where I can pick up one though, pretty cheap I think. It's a used reconditioned AGM starting battery, and I'm going to look into that. But for now, this will work. Let's have a look at the back. Everything is right where I left it. A big Apocalypse 8K. Alright guys, if you're looking for lights, I'm going to take a picture or get you a video shot of these. These guys right here. You find these on the Amazon. This is what you want. They're just green, but these guys, this chrome part pops off of here. There you go. And you can see how it bolts on. They're just green. And I've had these two running back here in the back. They run whenever the vehicle's on, and they deal with all the voltage fluctuations and everything. They both still work perfectly, and I've been testing them now for a while. This one right here, up here in the engine compartment, same thing, runs when the engine's on, and it still works perfectly up here in all the heat. Now these guys right here, I had some of these in here. See that one? They're complete crap. They'll last about a day or two and then they blow. I'll fire them up. Should be on, yeah. There you go. So they're on right now. And pretty good little lights, man. They do a good job. This Sunday, we're gonna have what we call a meet, a base meet. That's where we're all going to get together and talk about car stereos and show off our current projects and catch up on what happened over the winter and all that kind of nonsense. And they hit me up, want me to come, so I'm going to be there. And you know, I'll be shooting a little bit of video there. I don't know exactly how much or what we're going to see, but you'll see what I see. I'll try to get some shots of some of the up and coming builds and maybe an interview or two, and we'll see. Hopefully that goes well. If you guys aren't subscribed, if you're into this kind of crazy stuff, might want to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, because you never know what kind of crazy crap I'm going to be posting. It's usually about car stereo stuff, but sometimes it could vary. It could be anything. You know, occasionally I get into other things. My life doesn't center around this, unfortunately. This costs money, and right now that, you know, there's nothing coming in. But hopefully that'll change as this channel picks up and I'll start getting a little bit of monthly income off of it. And I'm working on disability as well, so I hope that pans out. It is what it is. Anyway, peace, guys.